What's going on, y'all? How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing all right, you know. I'm Bimma The Storytella, I'm your host today. I'm happy to be here with all of them. How y'all doing? Y'all make some noise again. We feeling good today? Coi, how you doing? Big Trendsetter in the building.
Yes,
How you doing?
I feel good. I love everything that is going on here. Y'all all look nice. And I'm ready to have fun.
Ready to have fun? I mean, you know, we in Club Coi, so, you know, we came to get fly, have some good time with you.
Well, let's all do it.
We're gonna sip a little bit, right? Let's talk a little bit about the current music industry, right? It's vastly different than it's ever been right now, right? And you're one of those folks that's at the forefront of that. You think about like how you've taken a lot of these things into your own hands using TikTok to go viral at any moment of your choice, right? And along with that comes a lot, right? You get love, sometimes we get some hate, right? But it's a part of your journey to become, you know, a superstar. Right? So today, we're here on Bars and Nuggets, a podcast by Amazon Music, where we actually get to dive deep into some of the iconic moments of your faves, like Coi, right? Coi, tell me, you know, you were just out in New York for Fashion Week. How was that?
Oh my God, I was so nervous. Like, yo, I don't wear heels often. Like, I just started wearing heels this year, just elevating and everything. I feel like I'm turning into a little woman. Like, I'm 25 now. I'm like, just hormones and everything's changing. So I'm wearing heels, but like, my heel wear is like 15 minutes, for real, for real.
You say you got a time limit on it.
Yeah, because like I wear the heels and then I, from the hotel to the car, to the car, to the club, and take them off. You know what I'm saying? Then you go to the club and then it's like, either you get carried out or you put them on, you go to the car and then it's just a quick.
It's a quick hit.
Oh, the runway with the heels? Yo, it hurt all the people. Y'all was back there, all the models was like, this is a rookie. They was sitting there getting their makeup done like, this girl, she's a rookie. Because I was sitting there like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm gonna fall. I was like, yo, the pants is heavy. I'm asking the models like, do you take a shot before you go on? I'm like, girl, do y'all take shots before y'all go on?
Give us some game. What's
I'm like, what do you, she's like, no. She's like, she said, no, we don't do that. She said, we just, own it. When you get out there, own it. That's all they can say. They're like, own it. I'm like, own it. Bitch, I can't walk. And I got and then I got a little, like, my confidence started fucking with me because now they all practicing and they're like, And I'm stiff, bro, because I'm just focused on the heels and not trying to fall. I'm like, I went out there. Oh my God, I did something that I wish I did not do.
What happened?
I went like this. I had my hands in my pocket, I came out, I was struggling, I was doing it, then I got so nervous, I was just like, like, what are you doing? Like, models do not go like this. I was like, yo, Coi, oh my God, on Getty Images, you got me like, I'm like, oh my God.
You start a whole new move. We might say that on TikTok.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So just to go back a little bit, take me back to Coi. You know, I know that you were born in Roxbury in Boston. Watch out now. But get cozy. But you know, you were raised in New Jersey. You live with your mom. What was your day-to-day like there? What do you remember about hanging out in Jersey?
I just remember, you know, being in Jersey. I grew up with all boys, so when my dad and my mom separated, my mom moved to Jersey. And it's kind of like every man for themselves. And like, you know, just kind of figure it out. And that's what happened in Jersey. Everybody just went their own way and just hustled, worked hard. I started working when I was 16. And I dropped out at an early age just so I could actually work and provide for myself. And Jersey turned me into a monster. But I'm from Boston. I was born in Boston. All my family's from Boston, so I definitely gotta rep Boston. Yes, I was born in Roxbury, Massachusetts. And yeah, shout out to all my family in Boston.
Goodness. Now that, you know, working at a young age, was that something that you wanted to do? Was that just out of necessary of the environment? Was that something your mom encouraged you to do?
You know, my mom being a single parent, having to take care of 4 of us at the time, money was not there. You know, so I had to go get it. by any means necessary.
Any means necessary,
Yeah.
right? I think that's that East Coast saying, you gotta go get it.
Gotta go
however
get
the
it.
way, right?
Yeah, and I'm a Taurus too. Shout out to all my Tauruses, Taurus gang. I am a hustler. Like Tauruses are hustlers. We are bulls and ready for whatever. So
I love it. I love it. I need some of that energy.
yeah.
Tell me about the period that led up to you deciding to drop out of high school. You know, I can't imagine it was, you know, a light decision. What was leading up to that?
So I was working.
Okay.
I worked at all kinds of jobs. So I worked at A&P Supermarket. I was working at Palermo's Bakery. I worked at, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I quit Dunkin' Donuts, right? I quit Dunkin' Donuts. I worked there for like 3 months, but I was so tired of working at Dunkin' Donuts because I knew it was a bunch of business owners coming in, they tux. I ended up knowing these guys. Like, as soon as they walk in, I already knew what they wanted.
You already knew the order.
But I wanted to be where they were. Like, I just felt like, I don't know.
You felt like they had it. Like they had maybe a BlackBerry. They maybe had the sidekick.
They was just boss.
Yeah.
It just felt good to come in and just get the coffee on that side, then give, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up quitting. And I walked to Palermo's Bakery. Not Palermo's Bakery, it was Pesto's Pizza, actually. It was some Pesto's. Walked there, got a job right on the spot, just to find out that tips was only like $6.
Oh my God.
Like, you only make tip, they
Right.
don't pay you. So I quit. And then I end up getting online. I was always on Craigslist because I needed a job. So I found this job in sales called Explore Enterprise. It changed my life. That's when I developed my customer service skills. You know, I learned so much in sales because I was selling Google listings to business owners.
Yeah.
You know, milking them. And we'll be all have our desk at a computer, and you'll put your sale on the board. I was always the top saleswoman. I was making them so much money. So at 16, I ended up making like 900 every Friday. Every Friday it was like 900, 800. It was fluctuate because I was doing sales, but I would never go under 500. And it was just different for me.
And this is money you hadn't seen before.
No, like
not personally, just yours.
I never, because you gotta understand, growing up, you know, and I'm pretty sure people know my dad, but just growing up, it was a moment where it was there, but it was gone. And I was so young that I wasn't really old enough to experience what that really was. You feel me? And what that life really was about. So so I quit. I mean, I ended up dropping out because the job was from 9 to 7.
9 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were working.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 7. And school was from 8 to 3.
Right.
And I said, oh hell, I said, Ma, I gotta get this
the bag.
money.
You said school was getting in the way of your bag.
Like, come on, like, because you feel me? We was struggling. We had food stamps. I ain't never be able to. I couldn't have nothing. My mom was working at the bar and she was trying the best she could. And I ended up saving my money. And after that, I moved out my mom's house. I ended up moving up in sales, becoming a broker at Yellowstone Capital, one of the top 5 funded capital. I was just, God blessed me with like a fucking brain.
So take me back to sales. Did you feel like you were just a natural at sales?
I was a natural. I always felt like since a kid, I was a natural. Like I had this thing in me, you know? Even just my confidence, everybody be like, oh, I love your confidence. So I had that shit since I was a kid, like I swear. And I don't know, I'm a fast learner. I'm a very fast learner. I'm athletic.
Yeah.
I like to draw. I like to just do so much. I just feel like anything I put my mind to, I'm gonna
You're gonna do it. Where does that confidence come from?
God. I feel like God has blessed me with that for sure. And my mom, you know, you meet my mom, I'm just like her. She sweatsuits to sneakers. She never was like a makeup girl. Her hair always was natural. Like she just was always cool. Like.
So take me to this. You said you were making all this money, and at a young age, you also went and got like your own apartment. You had a car. Like that's so crazy. Like that's a dream for a teenager.
Yeah. My older brother, Kwame, he had gave me a car, and it was a Toyota 03 Corolla.
Yeah.
It was like tan, with the tan seats. I was like, okay, like we outside out here. But yeah, I had got a crib in Jersey City, but I was always into music. I like trap music, you know, like I that's me.
That's you. Like, what was it about it that spoke to you?
I like the bass.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those like we get in the car. and blasting G Herbo and like now I feel like I'm in GTA. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like the music make me feel like, yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was always into it and I'm like, okay, Jersey's small, you know, the sales thing and the broker thing, I wasn't making no money there.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't tell me nothing about it. They just told me like, yo, you're fire, come up there. But it took like 3 months to start actually making money. I had to pay my rent.
And that wasn't working for you?
Nah, it wasn't working for me. So luckily at the time, me and my dad was actually speaking and he sent me a camera. I'm like, yo, I need something to do. Like, he's like, yo, just take this camera. He just sent the fucking camera. So I'm like, I got the camera. I'm like, I'm about to shoot videos for these local rappers.
Okay.
Because they don't have no visuals, like, you feel me? And it was called Flex Dummy Entertainment.
Okay.
Now listen, I didn't have no clients, like no clients, like not one. I didn't even know how I was gonna get clients. All I knew was, okay, I need to make people wanna like use my services. So I'm like, all right, I'm about to just rap Chief Keef song, film myself and then edit myself, have my girl, like this girl, Aisha, she was my friend. She was like, yeah, I'm like, just film me. She's filming me. Now I'm rapping Chief Keef lyrics. I fell in love with the video so much and just, I'm thinking I'm Sosa. I'm like, nah, I gotta be the one in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's
this
switched.
Is gang. Like, this ain't even it. Like, this ain't even for me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to edit this shit. I don't know how to, I'm on iMovie. Feel me? I'm on iMovie with it, trying to make it, put it together. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, nah, F that. So that's when, you know, I started getting into the music and I was, at the time, I was listening to A Boogie. A Boogie had dropped.
Yeah.
Some, like, you know, A Boogie was DTB, for example. And I'm like, yo, I need to talk my shit. Like, you feel me?
I feel you. You had to get some shit out.
Like, fuck this working shit. I'm calling my mom like, yo, I'm moving back in, shorty. Here I come, make some space. Now me and my little brother, we in the living room. I lost everything. I'm like, everything. And then, yeah, I wrote my first song. And then I went in the studio, I met Product. I met some people around the way.
Yeah.
And they connected. I met Product, he was an engineer. That's how I met Neek. She's here, she's my best friend still. She shot my very first video. And I did a feature with this guy, this kid named Shock, shout out to Shock. He was like, yo, it's called Ice Slippers, it's on my SoundCloud. And I just was like freestyling. Okay, so whatever. That's why I'm like, all right, I'm about to start rapping. He leave the studio, we do the song. I'm like, I'm not leaving the studio, pull up another beat.
You like, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Like, Product's like, I'm about to record you. Like, let's go. So Neek quiet as hell. Like, Neek just sitting there. Like, you know, she always got her camera, but you feel me? I had cut all my hair off. Like, I had cut all my hair off. I got a little curly fro.
Yeah.
We sitting there, I'm drinking. Next thing you know, Neek, she turned the camera on. A vibe. A whole vibe in the studio.
Just there. The energy's there.
Energy's there. I upload my first video. I activated Instagram October 2017. Nobody knows this, right?
Yeah.
I activated Instagram October 2017. I wasn't even on Instagram. They like, you need an Instagram because like you gotta be an artist now, whatever, right? So you gotta do this. So now we in the studio faithfully. Like I'm getting dropped off there. I'm taking I'm doing whatever I gotta do to get there.
To get there.
Neek lives around the way in Orange, so she's meeting me there. Products already on deck. We getting beats from YouTube. And then I end up getting goofy ass niggas, and goofy ass niggas took over Jersey. Like Neek shot a video. I wrote goofy ass niggas. It was like, goofy ass nigga, please stop calling my phone. Yeah, these niggas try to play me, but they won't.
Hey.
Try to say that they love me, but they don't.
Hey.
Goofy ass nigga, please stop calling my phone. Yeah, leave me alone. That shit went crazy. Now the whole Jersey's like, oh shit, she's serious.
She on, yeah.
I always had braids with my natural hair. I'll do them myself. I ain't give a fuck about no parts, nothing. I'm just, nigga, y'all gonna feel this energy. Like, I ain't care about shit. Telling you, the confidence.
The confidence, that's what I'm saying. Like, we rock with that.
Yeah.
So this is happening, and you blowing up in Jersey. How are you starting to get money? Because I know that was a priority for you.
Well, I mean, you know, at the time, I was, so, you know, I had ended up getting into some money situations, you feel me? Yeah, I got a little mug shot. You feel me? I got a little case. You know what I'm saying? You can look at the case and you can see it there. It ain't nothing that I'm happy about and I'm proud of, but definitely made me who I am. And at the time, it helped me survive.
Right.
You feel me? I was surviving, and you know,
you had to do what you had to do.
I had to do what I had to do, and then also too, I had met. I mean, Sean was, shout out to Sean, and then D-Bly, my cousin, they came around, they started managing, they had bread. They was ready, they like, listen, whatever we gotta do, we're gonna
support you.
And it was only like, literally a month and a half till I started actually getting features. I'm telling you, shit happened so fast, because from when I first dropped my song, because even then we went into Huddy.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you about Huddy, right? You dropped Huddy, right?
Back
off
to back.
Off your EP 2019.
Going crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that's what got me my deal.
That's what got you your deal.
Yeah.
Wow. What was it about it? What was it about it? Other than like, obviously, it went. But you know what I mean? Like, what do you think about it was like the thing that really sparked the interest?
Actually, now that I think about it, Huddy helped me get my deal because it spreaded the brand awareness of Coi Leray.
Yeah.
It helped do that, but I feel like, so when I dropped Huddy, because I wrote that, like, I was in the studio by myself with Knock, and I wrote it, and it was rap, like it's rap, raw, just bars, back to back, so, you know, it started gaining a lot of attention, but I always had a lot of different melodic sounds, like I had music, like we was consistent.
Got melodies. Yeah.
So, you know, we buzzing off Huddy doing numbers, So at this point, I met with 12 labels. 12 labels.
What's the span of these meetings?
The span, so from me dropping, so from 2017, October, then we go into 2018, grind. You'll see the SoundCloud, you'll see the old videos, you'll see goofy ass niggas, you'll see, and then 2019, I think is when, towards the end of the year, we have Huddy, and then boom, we end up, it's 2 years later, and then now 2019, we courting with all the labels. So all the labels is calling. You got everybody. It's 12 different we meeting with. We're in New York. They're courting me. They're all like massaging, telling me I'm fucking awesome. And I'm just like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, it's so overwhelming. Money was being thrown so much money. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, yo, what is happening? Meanwhile, I'm like 21. I'm 25 now. So now it's like the 10th label. I ain't gonna say no names, but it's the 10th label I met with. It's like 15 labels. I met with 12. 10th label, I'm like, all right, look, D, I'm not trying to meet with no more people, bro. Like, I'm starting to gain relationships. I'm starting to like people. Like, I don't really, I'm done.
You're done doing all the courting.
That's it. We go to cafeteria in New York. We're eating, leaving the last label. Saint, my A&R, love Saint. Saint Haraway, he walks in. He comes in. He's from Republic Records, who I'm signed to now. He goes, throws fucking car onto it, like, I'm gonna see you at the meeting tomorrow, right? And he pays for our dinner. And I look at D like, I just told you I'm not having no more meetings. Like, D look at me like, you know you gotta go though, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, this is it. Bro, I tell you, I go to that meeting, I go to Republic, I meet Monte, I meet A-Ray, I meet the whole Republic staff. They wasn't letting me go. After that, I signed my deal. It was the biggest bag and the biggest deal, the best deal of 2019. I kid you not. It was go time after that. And Monty told me, like, he loved the Huddy, he loved the rap, he loved everything that was going on. But you know what he told me? He said, I want you to just keep doing what you're doing, because you know what you're doing, and you're so versatile. You know, he's like, Coi Leray, you're gonna be a mega superstar. Trust me. Wow. Just stay focused. So I got that battery, and And
you latched on to it, right?
Flourished.
You heard that, and you were like, that sounds like where I want to be.
Yeah.
So when it was after you signed, is that when Slide came out with Gunna?
Yeah, that's when we dropped, we started just going crazy.
You started going on that run.
Yeah, we started going crazy.
Right, so that's now a Never era, right? And you ended up moving out to LA during that time?
Yeah, so when I signed the deal, we first moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I thought all the producers was in Atlanta. So I'm like trying to lock in. But then they was all in LA.
Yeah.
So me and Nick got up out of there and we ended up going to LA.
What did you think about LA when you got out there? Like, cause that's a whole, you know, you was on the East Coast in Jersey, Did it feel comfortable to you? Did
It felt amazing. It felt like I was in Puerto Rico. Are you crazy? Like, are you crazy? What? It's palm trees, got lemons and shit on the trees. I'm like, yo, this is different. Like, no cap, this is different. Yeah, Cali, like, but I've been in California for like 2 years now, and I always felt like it was just work. Like, I'm here to grind, I'm here to work, because you got to be careful out here as well. And you know, it's Hollywood. You don't want to get lost in the sauce, right? You want to kind of just really try to stay true to yourself as much as possible. So, but LA I love it.
So I know you like to be in the studio, you like to work. So at that point in time, how often were you in the studio working?
I was always in the studio. I was always in the studio because, you know, free YSL, free Thug, free Gunna, right? You know, I loved a lot of their music. And one thing about Thug, I remember watching interviews and just, you know, I know a lot of, like, we family. And Thug was always in the studio. Like, they'll say, like, yo, he got thousands of songs. Like, everybody just always, like, when everybody talk about Thug, they be like, yo, he a hard worker. He don't stop. So, to me, I'm like, okay, I got to stay in the studio because, you know, I want my hit, you know? And on top of that, too, I love being in the studio. It's like back in the days, you feel me? We used to have a little link ups, like, oh, you got OC, you got open crib, right? And have like a kickback, you feel me? And now it's like you could actually have a vibe, and actually create. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sitting there and just chatting and bullshit, we actually creating. People get inspired. Like people might pick up an instrument. I got people humming in the background. They ain't even never sung a song in their goddamn life.
You make everybody an artist.
I got the damn beat playing. Shut up. I'm trying to come up with some damn lyrics up there humming. You got something to say? I'll be like, get on the mic.
Get on the mic.
Get on the mic then, because it seems like you got some, get on the goddamn mic, because it might be some shit. Fuck that. Hell yeah. I love the studio. It's so lit.
Yeah, it's like your comfort zone. It's home, right?
Yeah.
So you in there. And then there's a studio session, though, where you're in there and No More Parties is coming out of this session, and you decide to share a snippet of it.
It's in my house.
It's in your house?
Yeah.
What was so good about that moment where you like, I gotta share this?
It was a moment where I was just really trying to find myself and understand a lot of things, you know? Like, it's a lot of growing pains in life, period, and especially just being a young Black female artist, just really trying to figure out, and, you know, it was just a lot of growing pains. And at that moment, I was really, like, in a place where I was like, what am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I had pressure, you know, of just being so viral, being so lit, but I need fucking that record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about nothing else. Like, I love music. And then also too, with everything going on the internet, and it was at that time, it was kill somebody.
Yeah, get that fly.
Get it? I think I got it. He's done. Ooh, recipe, sorry, baby. A little cloud for you. But yeah, so, you know, it was at that point where I was just stressed, trying to figure out what was just, you know, everything, it was internet shit going on.
What was going on the internet?
I think at the time it was my dad and everything. It was just a lot of stuff, because there's always something.
Yeah.
Every time I turn around, there's always some shit. Right? But at that time, it was really personal. And
you took it personal?
I took it personal. Then also too, you know, I love my label and I love everybody there. But you know, I felt like they put pressure on me too at one point, just, you know, because they see my potential.
Right.
Right? But it's like, they know how great I am, but I also have to find myself too and kind of build my own core fan base and do it on my own time. So No More Parties, I let it all out. And we was just in the crib. Shout out to Nunu. It was Alondra. It was Jermaine. We was just all in the crib, us four. And we were there, and I punched in, because I was punching in. I punched in on that time. And that's why the came out, because I'm really mumbling.
You're really trying to find that pocket.
Yeah, because when I'm punching in, like, I'm not the best freestyler, so it might take me some time. So I might get the melody and start mumbling and then find the lyrics.
Yeah.
That was a mumble that I couldn't take out.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, nigga, we keeping that. So
that's purposeful, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, the shit was so fire. We made the song, and the next thing you know, we just turning up to it. Like, we all proud of the damn shit. We like, hey, it's just us, but we having a damn party. We can fuck about nothing. So then TikTok. Yeah. I had just got on TikTok. I'm figuring shit out.
So it's so interesting with you. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you just sense it. And so you jump on TikTok.
I jumped on TikTok because it was like Triller. Mm-hmm. That's why I jumped on TikTok, because there was only 2 platforms where you can actually upload your music that's not out and like preview it, right? So it was TikTok, which was like you do the notes or whatever, and then you could put it on TikTok, or you could put it on Triller. Felt like Triller, I've done Trillers. I don't always do Trillers. TikTok was new, so I said, let me try this shit. Yeah. And it was a way to put the song out, you know, get the snippet on there with the video. I'm like, I need the snippet on the video, you feel me?
Yeah.
So we end up in there and we like, I don't know. I didn't even, at that time, I was so happy to just finally make a song and just get everything off my chest. Like, cause I never really, I'd be scared to sometimes talk about certain things cause I don't wanna hurt nobody, right? Like, I know, like, if I say certain things in a song, I just don't wanna hurt nobody. I'm very self-conscious of that. So I was always kind of protective of that, but at the same time, I'm human and I should be able to speak my truth. And as long as I'm not disrespecting anybody, it should be fine.
Yeah, you just express it how you feel.
Exactly. So at that point, yeah, it was, and then it just organically just went crazy. Like, we dropped No More Parties on the off day, Wednesday. And, you know, I took advantage of the TikTok and all of that. And at that moment, everybody tried to shit on me. It was like, oh, you're a TikTok artist and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, listen, little do y'all know, y'all all right? Listen, all right.
You knew something different. You was like, okay.
I didn't give a fuck. Once I knew that the TikTok drove streams, I'm about my money and I'm about strategy. I don't have no time to have pride and ego on people that's gonna be like, oh, you're a TikTok artist, standing third. Cool, if you don't appreciate the music and you hating because you can't do it the way I did, then that's cool. But check the numbers out, because TikTok is helping me go crazy, and as you can see now, everybody's on TikTok.
Yeah, it was something you had mentioned recently, you know, because there was a period where folks were like coming at you, but now it's like, now they following the Big Trendsetter.
No. Don't say that, you're gonna get me in trouble. We're all trendsetters. Okay. Like, everybody's a trendsetter. Okay. You feel me? I'm the one that just uses the name first. Like, I'm the one who branded it and went crazy with it. But we're all trendsetters. Like, and I feel like that's important for everybody to understand. And you know, with the TikTok thing, like, I would say it is a trendsetter move, but it's bigger than that. I kind of opened people's eyes, and I gave a lot of more people opportunity to see that it's bigger than being cool for school and not, like, have fun with this shit. And I feel like, I say this a lot to myself, God put me on this earth for a purpose. And it's superhero shit to look after, not only for yourself, and even when I go to the label, like, I got Trendsetter Studios and I started my own marketing production company. Me and my team, we go crazy with it just for that, right? And
Trendsetter Studios, right?
Yeah, Trendsetter Studios. And it's like, you know, Monty tells me, like, yo, you're awesome at this marketing. Like, you're gonna be so dope at it. And I'm like, yo, I want you to understand what could work for me can work for everybody. You just gotta trust me, you feel me? And that's why I succeed and have so much success in it, because you know, I have the support and the trust from, you know, all ends. Sometimes it get overwhelming though, because I be doing this so much. I be like, yo, y'all gonna try to TikTok me to death? Like, y'all gonna have to do something.
Yeah, do something, yeah. You need your space too, right?
I need my space too.
I love what you said about how inclusive your approach is to it, right? Like, you talked about, like, you're not doing this for you. You're like, I'm showing other people how they can leverage it for themselves, right? But with that, you know, there is some stuff that comes with it that you touched on a little bit, right? There is some hate that comes with it. Haters are coming, talking about everything except for the music. Does that affect your confidence ever?
yeah, like it affected my confidence a couple times throughout my career when people say little shit. I'm human. And one thing I like to tell everybody, like, you can't expect humans to do nothing but be human, right? But I started to realize, like, all right, it was at one point where the skinny stuff did bother me just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I'm such a good person.
Yeah.
And I really look in the mirror and don't think I don't think there's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
Why should you?
I don't know why I just don't fucking think so. Like, I just look in the mirror and be like, damn, girl. I feel like everybody should do that. Like, you got it. And of course, like, I'm a girl. Like, of course I want a bigger butt. But I also like the big butt I got now. It's a little cute big butt. I'll shake that shit and make it feel like I got the, you know what I'm saying? I'll go crazy.
Hey, hey. Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, I used to, and then you know what too? People used to tell me, they used to be like, oh, they used to say, oh, the skinny, how do you feel about? And then I started to realize there's so many girls that would hit me up and be like, yo, you make me feel so good. I can wear high-waist jeans now. I can do this, I can do that because you don't care. And I'm like, girl, I can't believe that the internet and these people have took a toll on you so much that you feel like you can't love yourself and just be you. And shout out to Big A, who was talking about it yesterday, and he said, you pay attention to negative shit, and it's selfish to the fans that fucking appreciate you and show you love. Because they're sitting here showing you love, and they're praising you, and they're telling you how much they love you, how beautiful you are, and you giving energy to niggas that's negative, that's how could you? People take the time out their day to show you love, and you don't appreciate that? You gonna look past that? That shit fucked me up. I said, oh, whoa.
It changed your whole perspective.
It blew my head back. Like, I was like, yeah, all right, pass it. You got it. You got it.
It's great to have folks like that in your corner, right? Because they allow you to shift and allow you to get out of your own way about small shit that you're gonna look back on and be like, I can't even believe I gave that energy.
Yeah.
Right? But even thinking about that and some of the anxiety around that, I know you had released a song called Anxiety. How do you deal with some of that? Like, does it just go into the music?
I pray. And my mother's big on God, and I talk to my mother. My mother's a real girl. Like, she's the real one, and she'll tell you, like, girl. My mom be like, girl, I ain't been through. She'll start talking about all the shit that she been through, because my mom been through some shit. And she'll just be like, girl, like, you are blessed. You are so blessed. She remind me of how blessed I am, and even just everybody. And I feel like that's important. Like, team is very, very important. There's no I in team, and and support is important too. Make sure that you on the outside looking in, like, giving your people support and letting them know, like, you love them and just really just looking after them, and you're here for them, just checking on them. My mom send me meme little gifts every day. It'll be like, I love you. It'll be hearts. It'll be teddy bears. It'll be random cute shit. And sometimes I'm be so busy I might not reply, but I know that she's gonna text me another 2 hours. So I'll just get the next text in the next 2 hours, right? But it's the thought.
It's the thought.
And, people need that. So make sure everybody, reach out to your loved ones and be very supportive, because motivation, all it takes is a little motivation to fucking change someone's life. I swear. Like, you could say a sentence to someone and they done now became and changed their life, probably quit drugs or probably went and actually studied and passed that test in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so much. So it's
amazing
important.
what happens when somebody believes in you.
Yeah, no.
Right? It changes a lot in you.
Like you guys, and like Amazon. Amazon believes
and all the
in
folks
me.
here right now.
Yeah, and all you guys. Right, who would have known? And Amazon, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's huge.
That's huge. But of course, as expected with you.
Yeah.
Now, even with all the stuff that was going on with the internet and some of the comments and stuff like that, and then you even making a shift to be like, I'm not giving that my energy, you went on a crazy run, right? No more parties to Big Purr, like, and you had been wanting that. Like, that's why you were in the studio. Reflecting on it, what was that rush like?
It felt like I was on top of the world, because I wrote No More Parties. I wrote Twin and Them. I actually co-produced Twin and Them too. Shout out to Banco, got it. the chords, those.
That's you?
No, I don't know fucking but I'm the one who fucking wanted them, and I told them, and I'm the one, like, I told them what I wanted and how I wanted it, and the guy played it, and
You creative director, yeah.
Because I knew the song needed chords. I'm like, yo, we need some church feel into this. And I knew the song needed chords, so I'm like, let's add some chords. And luckily, the guy there, he used to play in a church. It's like, God is amazing, yo. I'm telling you, like,
right on time.
Be in the studio and now you was in a church. All right. So, yeah, and then twinning them, and then Big Purr, like Free Pooh Shiesty.
Yes.
It feels good to be able to, it's not like I told you so, but it's like, it's more like a reminder of when I said what I was gonna do.
And I did it.
And I did it. It's like, oh, remember when I said I was gonna do that? I did it. Aren't you happy for me? It's like one of those. Like, yeah, because I'm proud of myself still to this day. Like, No More Parties is 2 times platinum. And
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And Big Purr is gold.
Yes.
And I know Blick is gonna be gold very, very soon. We got over like 30 million views on that video. Such an amazing song, such an amazing video. Shout out Nicki Minaj, such an amazing, like, everything. Blick was, it was that, in your face, you know? Especially having a tough year. I just came from dropping Anxiety. I'm like, you know what? It's time to shit on these people and go crazy. And, you know, with Nicki being on the record, I felt like it was super dope because it wasn't expected. I didn't expect it. I was getting so much hate at the time, I didn't expect it. But obviously she knew talent.
She saw something in you.
She saw something in me, and the song is fire.
The song is fire.
Because Nicki ain't gonna hop on just anything. She ain't just hopping on anything now.
Right.
You feel me? And she gave me like 20 bars.
Yeah, you got a lot of bars. And your flow.
I got a lot, it's a lot. So I felt like at that, like, I just appreciated the fact that, you know, you appreciate my talent, you know? And she's an icon. You know, Nicki Minaj put in a lot of work. And not only that, she's done a lot to change the game in the female industry. And I respect her for that. I do.
With all of that rise, right? Like, all of that visibility, you know, 30 million views, you know, double platinum. How does that affect you? Do you ever get overwhelmed by some of the stuff that comes with this?
I do.
Right? Because it can be an and. It doesn't have to be a but. Like, you can be successful and you can have some of these things happen at the same time.
I mean, the overwhelming and the pressure comes in is like after you do it, you're like, all right, I'm not done. For me, I would say, you know, and that's why, like, people, it's not fucked up. I don't want to say it's not fucked up. I've been changing my life, so I've been going ways about different. It's not fucked up. It's just they haven't realized and they haven't seen it yet. Because for me, maybe I haven't told my story, but even just with all the hate and everything I went through, it just surprises me that a lot of people overlooked on how many accomplishments I've had. And within this year, like, I finally actually got to sit down and appreciate it.
What you've done.
What I've done. Like, I used to be like, damn, like, D be like, yo, you're on Billboard Top 40. Like, I remember he told me No More Parties before Durk, it's Top 40 Billboard. And I'm like, dope. Fire.
Did you really mean it? Did you really?
I meant it, but it wasn't enough.
I was gonna ask that.
It just wasn't, it just did it. I just still felt like it wasn't enough. And then it's like the nominations, you know, I got nominated over 6 different times, like Best New Female Artist, it was just everything from all different kinds of awards. And everybody still found a way to make me out to just be like this fucking...
Try to minimize you.
Yeah, minimize me. Exactly. It's like a perfect way to say it. Try to minimize me. And then, you know, I end up doing more stuff, like even just with the collaboration, you know, like nobody expected Blick to come about. And then even just is just so much that people don't understand, I guess, or I don't know why they don't appreciate it, but it made me kind of not appreciate it. Because I'm like, why the fuck y'all don't see what's going on? Y'all want to try to hate me so much and make this hate train. Y'all want to try to make me out to be this bad guy so much, and I'm busting my ass. What is happening?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to understand, but some things maybe aren't meant to be understood.
No, you just gotta just charge into the game.
You gotta do you.
And keep going. I swear, because
Yeah.
it'll try to tear you apart, and one thing you cannot do is let it tear you apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Because you got to still do you. There are folks out there that look up to you, right? And you got to remember, like, that's who you're here for. That's who you're here to serve, right?
Yeah.
It's not everybody else. Yeah, let them do their own thing. Now, take me back to this TikTok conversation, because I'm fascinated with, you went from 4 million to 10 million followers within 1 year. That's a huge jump. And you're really savvy with it. Like, you really know this stuff. Can you tell us, like, how have you been able to do this?
I'm really not that, nobody fucking believes me. Nobody believes me. So look, I am not even like the best TikTok expert. Like, I just literally 2 weeks ago found out how to do, because I just did it with my, I think we did it with the shoes. But Neek was making that. Like, it took us like an hour to make that shit, bro. I see why people be like, nah, I ain't fucking
doing
with
this.
Because, bro, look, I'm natural. I put the camera on. I know lighting. I know lighting. I'm just a natural. I know, so I'm gonna just do my dances and stuff. But like, I had just learned how to do the shoe and throw the shoe and shit. And then like Fashion Week, I changed the clothes and shit.
Yeah.
Them videos ain't take 2 minutes, bro. Not gonna lie to you, like, it ain't
That
take
was
2
billable
minutes.
hours. You was like, yo.
Yeah, but you know, as I continue to just use the app, like, you have to just use the app as much as you can. Be on the app, use the app, try new things, different things, and I'm still learning transitions, but at the time, I am looking for one of those super crazy transition TikTok persons to come on my team and come show me some tricks, because once I learn a little ooh, ooh, ah, ah, then 10 gonna turn to like 50 million quick.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how you want to invest in it too, right? You see how it grows your business is what I'm hearing.
1,000%.
I mean, they got some content creators running around here.
Who made this? You made this? This is good.
Boy, making all of us jealous right now. I know y'all wish y'all had what she got to hook up.
Hey, get them a shot. They need a little drink so they can feel the vibe. Can I really give y'all a shot? I have 42. Can I get, where's my bottle? Whoever wants a shot, gonna get a shot. Let's go.
Hey! This is really Club Coi right now.
Yeah, come
It's really
on.
Club Coi.
You gotta see on your hat. Come on. I like that. I like that.
That means some of y'all got smaller shots.
There's an easier way to take the shot. Did you get your drink?
I didn't get mine.
What's that, water?
This is water. I didn't want to be left out.
You don't drink?
I do. Well, see, give me that.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Amazon
Amazon Music, bars and nuggets, baby. Let's go.
Yes!
On your count.
1, 2, 3.
Bars and nuggets, baby.
Bars and nuggets, baby.
Bars and nuggets.
All right, I love y'all, but we can't have this
All
on
right,
the
y'all
set.
can collect the cups.
Take your cups. Thank you.
I know, I'm from the South. I love a good tailgate, love a good pregame. So let me come back in. So we were talking a little bit about TikTok and how you've been leveraging that and how you feel great about it.
Right.
One thing that's interesting to me is when you drop a snippet for a song, you still got to figure out how to sustain it before the launch is happening, right? So how do you go about keeping things interesting before it actually drops?
Well, that's why you gotta book Trendsetter Studios.
Dang.
Because we'll be able to give you some of our services so that way we can help you spread your brand awareness for your brand, whether if it's merch, music, or whatever it is. Now, if you want a little bit of input, because I can't tell all my secrets, but you wanna know the biggest of it all? It's organic. All organic. I don't think when I do, it's like a blessing and a curse. Because sometimes it gets me in trouble. It does. But you have to, like I said, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, I love, like, for example, Fly Shit.
Yes.
My single I just dropped.
Yes, it just dropped. And it's fly.
Yeah, it's fly. It's super hard. I love the song. I love the songs. So for me, I enjoy making as like videos back to back to back. I'll continue to just make videos and dances and challenges or whatever because I love the song. You know, put out, it's like Gary V. I watch a lot of Gary V and I remember him talking to this girl because he be giving it to him raw and hard.
Oh yeah,
And
he got
crazy.
advice on the spot.
Yeah, and this girl, she was talking about how I guess she was going to college for something and she just started losing love for it and passion for it. He said, you know what you need to do? You need to fucking leave. You need to like leave. Like if you don't love what you're doing, then what are you doing it for?
What are you doing? Why are you wasting the time?
Why are you wasting time? You know, a lot of like young artists or upcoming artists that I meet or people that want to get into music, they'll tell me like, yo, I want to get into music. Like I want to do music. Or they'll be like, yo, how do I flourish in the music industry? How do I come up? And the first question I ask them is like, what are you doing this for? Are you doing it to like get paid? Are you doing it for a fast come up? Are you doing it to like be famous and like put on an image? Like, or are you doing it because you love music and you're trying to get a message across and touch people and hopefully change, you know, scenarios. I don't want to say change the world because it's sometimes sounds very impossible, but yeah, like, I mean, Biggie Small said it, so I can say it. You can't change the world unless you change yourselves, right? And unless you do something, right? So yeah, it's one of those things.
It's one of those things. It's organic, it's being purposeful. I love that. And it's also kind of got like this athletic mindset, right? It's like, don't think about it. You on the court, you on the field.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to be doing all that hesitation.
No.
You miss a whole opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people hold back because they try to be too cool or like, especially guys are like the biggest problem with social media.
What do you mean?
I don't understand it. Like, I really don't. Like,
What do you mean?
they be like, oh, I ain't about to do no dances. I ain't about to like, okay. Sit the fuck on the sideline with the rest of them if you're not gonna do no dances. Because it's like, for you to, and it bothers me because then it's like, oh, TikTok is dancing. TikTok is just not dancing. Instagram's not just pictures.
Right.
Instagram's just not just selfies, right? It's people cooking on there. It's people doing hair.
Yeah, people doing tutorials.
Tutorials.
Like, they giving a bunch of game.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. Men, y'all crazy, bruh. They be like, I ain't doing them dances. All right, then. You don't gotta do no dance. You can always show your fit off. You can even just rap your song. You can even just do something to where you're setting the camera up in the mirror and you got good lighting. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And if you have too much pride, then this game isn't for you. Because you always wanna be yourself, but you're still gonna be yourself when you turn the camera on if you just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
If you feel like you're forced, then don't do it. Be happy with just making music in the studio, and if it doesn't go nowhere, if it doesn't do nothing, be happy. Accept that.
Accept that because you also chose not to do this
Not
other
to do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
One thing I appreciate about my father, well, I appreciate a couple things, right? But one thing that I really learned, it was at one point my dad was doing music, and I'll be like, damn, like he always kept the studio. And, you know, I was like, yo, you doing this music, like, are you happy that it's not, like, are you okay with the fact that it's not on the radio and stuff like this? Like, I remember even asking me, he told me, he said, yo, I do this for me. I don't do this for them or them. I get in the studio when I make my music because this is what I want to do.
What you want to do, yeah.
You feel me? And now you turn on this sheet, rip, nigga, rip, church, nigga, talking crazy or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Now I'm talking crazy. My songs don't get mad weird. Don't get mad when and you ask me where I got it from. Hold on. But yeah, so it was just one of those things where I'm like, all right, cool. If you love this, then it's gonna show. If you're doing it to just get on and
that's
stuff
also
like
gonna
that,
show.
it's also gonna show, and you're not gonna get nowhere. So
thinking about when you're releasing, do you ever feel like you have pressure to release now? Because I know in the past, you know, in that pocket of 2019, you felt like if you signed, like you really needed to. Now, how do you feel about it? Like in that moment after, you know, No More Parties and then Big Purr, do you feel that pressure?
I did at one point, but also too right now I don't because, like I said, I haven't took the time to appreciate all the stuff. So now that I've done so much, it's time for me to like sit down and stoke it all in and put it into new music.
It's a moment for you to kind of develop the next iteration of what you want to bring.
Yeah, and I never told my story. So, you know, me, I'm actually working on my project, my next project. And I'm locking in and just consistently every day. It's like months. Next 3 months is just straight studio session. And I just want to go. I don't want to think, I just want to go. I just want to get in the studio, I just want to go. And I don't feel behind. I don't feel like I got to keep up. I'm doing it at my pace. I'm good. You know, I had a great 2021. I feel like, you know, like I said, No More Parties just went double platinum.
Yeah.
In a year, you know, for an upcoming artist, for me, that's so new. It's like big.
That's pretty crazy.
And and my album's about to be gold too. Like people try to shit on my album, right?
Yeah.
They try to shit on my album. My album's about to be gold.
Let it be gold. And you gotta let them know. You gotta champion you.
It's about to be gold.
You
Like,
gotta champion you.
and if you look at, because my album, they said the first week it sold 11,000 sales. If it's so crazy, because out of all the albums that drop, nobody like goes viral like that. Like, oh, and it's a whole fucking thing. But of course, Coi Leray is perfect at headlines. It's like, cool. I keep their lights on, they keep my lights on. So I don't mind the blogs doing whatever they gotta do, right? Do what you gotta do. But y'all gonna respect me. Y'all gonna appreciate me. Those 11K sales, if you look at any of your favorite female artists and you look at their first debut album and you look at their sales, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not only that, they have to understand times have changed.
Yeah, so talk about that, right? Like we're
Amazon
in a different
Music.
era, right? Like it's
we got
different.
Amazon
We got
Music.
Amazon Music now, right?
You feel me?
Yeah.
They need to stream that on
You gotta
Amazon
stream,
Music,
right?
right?
We're talking about streams. We're talking about numbers from TikTok. We're talking numbers from YouTube now.
Yeah.
We're talking numbers from a lot of different places.
Yes.
It's not traditional so much.
No.
How do you define, when you think about that, how do you define success? Because I imagine you have to think about it more holistically. You're not just looking at the same things.
What
that
you
they
mean
are.
though?
Like, I don't mean like, you're not just looking at first week sales that you just shared, right? Like, there's gotta be other things that you're like, this is what success is.
I have probably I have some of the most hottest artists in the world on that project that I got organically myself, just being myself. And shout out to everybody that is on my project, all those features, because each and every single last one of them people believed in me and they see my talent for what it is. And, you know, that's just something alone. Not only that, the album, before the album, I was nominated for all this stuff and was on Billboard. I never dropped no album before. I dropped a single, No More Parties, and then Big Purr, and then twinning them right after that. Obviously, the music was good.
Music was speaking for itself, right? And then, you know, you had the whole double XL.
I love that fucking freestyle.
It's a whole moment of itself.
I will never, ever, ever forget that freestyle. I love that freestyle so much because I don't freestyle. I get in the studio and I create. I'm just that.
Yeah.
But you wanna play? You wanna try me? All right. Cool. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna do what makes me happy.
Makes you happy.
Because I don't do it for you, I'm gonna do it for me. I love my brother than me. Huh? I do. I love my brother and he loves me. You're mad? Because I love my brother? Like, huh? Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you started performing that. Is that right? You were like performing at shows.
You gotta, because people think like, they try to knock you down and really try to poke you and poke you and poke you, and it's better when you poke at them. It's like, you thought this was bothering me so much, how about this? Come to my set, and I'm gonna play it in the biggest speakers for you. Now you're gonna hear it even louder.
Yeah.
Ha. And see me say it again.
And where did you
Love
get
it.
to the point where you were like, yo, I could actually, like, I could flip this for me. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Like, I really, like,
Since the beginning.
since the beginning.
I never came in here like, yo, I'm trying to be the best. Or I'm trying to like, my purpose was to just vent. And when I vent, how can I make my venting into art? You know?
Yeah.
There's so many ways people vent. If you can vent and turn it into art, because the pain, it's like you take that pain and you turn it into art. It don't matter what it is, find passion, find something you love and stick to it, because whatever you go through, you can put all of that energy into that and change. Like, really, like my family, I could take care of my family.
Yeah.
You think I care about what people, like I could fucking take care of my family. I'm the big dog now. I fucking wear the pants. I take care of my family. And that's what God put me here to do, and I'm gonna continue to do that. It's like generational, what do they call that?
Generational wealth?
Not generational, but it's like a generational, it's like when they pass down. It's like the generational something. It's like in your family, it's like you have the generational.
What y'all?
Is it the generational curse?
Curse, breaking the generational curse.
Ooh, I don't like that word. Curse. I'm like, curse.
Break the cycle.
Break the cycle, exactly.
Yeah. And so Blick Blick is the single that goes into, right? It's your lead single going into your debut album. Did you feel like you had something to prove with your debut album, considering, some of the things and the narratives that you were navigating or being thrown at you? What was the energy?
So ready to drop. I've been waiting to drop for 3 years. I've been trying to build my core fan base, and I just wanted to drop music. And I've features like with Polo G, I recorded a year before I dropped the project. I've been sitting on these records, and I'm like, and then Blick Blick, we were ready to, the album was finished. Blick Blick was like a surprise. It was like, hold on.
Hold on.
Shit.
This gotta be on
we gotta
there.
shift a couple things. Yeah, so, but Trendsetter is probably one of the best albums of 2022. I would stand on that for sure.
That.
And Blick Blick is an icon moment that I will never, ever forget, ever.
Ever.
Ever. I have it tatted on me.
A word.
Yeah, 3/18/2022, I ain't never gonna forget. I'm a tattoo person, so this right here, this is stuck with me forever. Yep.
I think also what's interesting around the time and the modern time is that things have changed, right? The way that we think about the industry, the way we think about album sales have changed. How do you feel like some of those changes impact you when it comes to you releasing music and you releasing albums and projects?
I feel like it's very important for all creators to understand, you can't do everything. For real. And you have to be able to be in a good space to be able to be the best you can be as a creator. Whether if you're an artist or whatever it is that you're doing, you need that space. So you need a team or that person to be able to take that off of your shoulders, allow you to just be the creator, be the artist, and handle the logistics and make sure everything is a machine and running exactly how it needs to be. You can't do it yourself. I'm telling you, bro. You cannot do it yourself.
And you don't want to. You need to focus on what you're great at.
It is boring. I still want to do it alone. So if I go camping by myself, I'm bored.
You're like, who I get to talk to?
Yeah,
what am I doing?
come on.
Yeah. Now, take me into today, right? Fly Shit, right? Fly Shit's a new single. You also teased that on TikTok, and along with that, there was some dance choreography with that. Tell me about that. What was the thinking behind that?
So we was in the studio. Shout out Tommy Brown, shout out Big A, shout out Ski, shout out Taylor. We was all in the studio. And me and Neek were because Neek is always on TikTok, we're always on TikTok. So I was literally trying to come up with a dance. Because I'm listening to it, I'm feeling it, and I'm like, all right, nah, this shit. So I'm riding the floor. But Neek is so good at the TikTok. I said, yo, Neek, help me come up with a TikTok dance. Like, do something. I'm like, do something now. After this, what's next?
Yeah.
She like, rah, 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 bow, 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 bow. I'm like, all right, that's it right there. That's it right there. We recorded a dance.
You recorded
it was over.
Now, Coi, as you're shifting into these different spaces, and you know, we spoke a little bit about like that next phase, right? That superstar phase, that megastar phase. How do you define that? Because I gotta imagine you might define that differently.
I can't wait to find out.
Can't wait to find out.
I feel like I'm a star, but I feel like I'm not there yet. Like I'm Monty told me, he said, you're 3 minutes away from being a mega superstar, like a mega superstar, bruh. And I just know that I am. Like I'm the it girl. Like I know that there's so many powerful women. Like for example, Missy Elliot. She came to my session, she was there for like 4 hours, we were talking.
Wow. And
I was just asking her like, all the game I can get, because she's so, like, she's motivational as hell. If you follow her on Twitter,
Missy be giving life advice.
We be going through it, right? Looking at Missy tweets like, Missy,
like,
no,
damn,
for real.
okay.
She's amazing. And in person, she's Oh my God.
Wow.
Like, incredible. Such an incredible person. And I got so inspired when she left my session. I played her music. She loved my music. She appreciated the different things I was trying. And she gave me so much pointers. And she was just like, one of the main things I asked her about relationships. I'm like, how did, being a female artist and being in a relationship, do you think it's kind of possible? Is it hard? And she was like, girl, stay focused because you don't want no distractions. You gotta it's hard, but stay focused, girl.
Wow.
You got it, and stay level-headed. And, even just sitting in a session with Missy Elliot, that's a icon.
That's an icon. And I
She's
can't imagine what
major.
game you were getting.
Yeah, she was giving me so much game, so.
Coi, we had a great time speaking with you. Now we're gonna take some questions from the audience that came to hear specifically from you. I'm actually gonna go right here to my man right here. He's got a great question for you.
What up, Coi? My name is Rico.
Hey, Rico.
I wanted to know, I know that you love cartoons. I wanted to know, what would your dream collaboration or project be in television or animation?
Okay, so television, I would definitely see myself doing voiceovers.
Yes.
Because I could do different voices and stuff, and I think I can master that. Also in television, I can see myself acting eventually, one day. My favorite cartoon is Courage the Cowardly Dog. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. And of course, I got Powerpuff Girls tatted on my leg.
Yo, yes.
Cartoon characters. I also got Mojo Jojo, because you gotta have the villain. Yeah.
So next we're gonna go over here. If I can get the mic over here to my friend on the beanbag, chilling.
Hi, Coi, I'm Julia.
Hey, Julia.
So aside from making music, do you have any other creative outlets?
Yeah, I definitely wanna, the Coi Leray braids is something I wanna go crazy on. I am working on my own braiding hair.
Wow.
My baby hair brush, because I am the baby hair queen. My baby hair isn't too dramatic today, because it's a little sleek. But yeah, I actually invented my own baby hair brush. I patent pended it and everything in United States and in China. And yeah, I can't wait to launch that.
That's so
and
dope.
tap into my beauty and skincare, because
Yes.
I am really all about skincare. So yeah, I really see myself just tapping into the hair and beauty industry.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Coi, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Y'all make some noise. Y'all get on y'all feet for Coi. Y'all stand up. I got my mic hanging out and everything.
Yeah.
Coi, thank you so much.
Thank
This is
you.
brilliant. Thank you so much. It was incredible. Enjoy the rest of your time. I think we got one of these.